Hi, my name is Kennedy, and the hormone I'll be discussing for this video is oxytocin. I'm an exercise science major, so I've already kind of learned about oxytocin, but never in this type of way. I've learned about it more as a hormone than the effects of it. And so in this case, I'll be discussing the effects on the central and peripheral nervous system, but also in the context of sex and love and homeostasis within the body and the roles that it plays on the brain. So, oxytocin is a natural occurring hormone and it is regulated by the autonomic system within the body because it is um, released automatically without our body having to tell it to do so. And so, perfect example, if you don't know what autonomic means, like our heart is beating without us telling we're breathing, without us having to tell our body to do so. So, oxytocin is released without us having to tell it to do so. It is produced in the hypothalamus, which is a small region at the base of the brain, and then secreted by the pituitary gland and released in the bloodstream throughout the body. Um, Oxytocin can affect the sensory, visceral, metabolic, and motor systems within the body. Certain people throughout the life, an increase in social activities and social lives will um, react to those stressors, and oxytocin will be released. It's found in both men and women, but have very different roles within the two sexes. So in females, it is it can trigger labor, the release of breast milk, and it also in within childbirth helps the act of pushing out the baby. And then in males, it's pretty simple. It just helps move the sperm. They also have the same feelings that I'm about to discuss in terms of what can create or it release oxytocin. Oxytocin is kind of seen as like a happy hormone or a love hormone, same as dopamine and serotonin, which are two other hormones. It's like the brain releases dopamine and your serotonin levels increase within the body, and that's how oxytocin is produced. And it essentially causes you to feel an urge of like positive energy, positive emotions within the body, and that's what it's telling your brain. The dopamine and serotonin levels are raising that up, telling your brain, um, having a certain feeling. It's found within research that oxytocin is directly linked to enhanced communication between romantic partners, and sometimes, particularly during arguments, sometimes it is seen to be at a higher level, but having an enhanced relationship or feeling or touch or emotion between within a relationship can um, release this. And that's not just between like relationships as in like dating, but also like a friendship or a lot of times like a motherhood in the females with maternal instinct within the body, and increase this, well, even during a marriage as well. But this increases those levels, and sometimes the effects of that is feeling relaxed or less stress. Some people lower blood pressure, and it like throughout research they've been able to see that because this is released into the bloodstream. It's released when because like the cells are excited because of these levels of serotonin. It increases the electrical activity of the neurons. This also is important towards homeostasis because um, there was a study where they looked at the dopamine levels in comparison to the oxytocin levels of people who were, I don't really want to say just, it was like depressed versus non-depressed people and the role it plays. And so yes, it's kind of seen as a love hormone, but also plays a part in your happiness, depending on some people and their um, lifestyle and how they're living their life. And it's a very adaptive hormone, so it can change over time depending on the behavioral or the psychological or the social cues or surroundings in your life. So you can see this fluctuating. A good example, again, is someone who is in a relationship versus when they're out. It can change if they're really happy and then change to be really sad after a breakup. And a lot of these emotions can be linked to feeling trust, empathy, positive relationship memories, and communication, like I said, and bonding cues, whether it's you're bonding with your child or your loved one, and also just overall psychological stability within that person or people. So that's my video.